Level 1. The Garage Beginner. You are 14 years old. You don't own a superbike. You don't have expensive riding gear. You don't even fully understand how an engine works yet. But you have one thing that every real rider starts with: curiosity. Your first motorcycle is probably not something impressive. It's an old bike sitting in someone's garage, covered in dust with a list of problems longer than the list of things that actually work. The tires are worn out. The battery is dead. The engine refuses to wake up. Everyone around you sees a broken machine. You see a project. You spend nights watching videos, reading forums, and trying to understand every little part. You remove pieces, clean them, put them back, and somehow end up with extra bolts you don't remember removing. The first few attempts fail. You kick the starter. Nothing. You try again. Still nothing. But then one day, after hours of work, the engine finally makes a sound. Not a perfect sound, not a powerful sound, just a few seconds of life. But those few seconds change everything, because you realize a motorcycle is not just transportation. It's a machine that rewards patience. You learn basic things: how oil matters, how a chain needs attention, how a strange noise can tell you something is wrong. Your first bike doesn't teach you speed. It teaches you respect. Level 2. The first real rider. You are 16 now. You finally have a bike that actually belongs on the road. Maybe it's a small displacement motorcycle, maybe a 125 cubic centimeters or 150 cubic centimeters. It's not the fastest thing out there, but to you it feels like a rocket. Every ride feels like an adventure. You start exploring roads around your town, you memorize every corner, you learn where the pavement changes, you notice where cars usually turn without warning. You discover something beginners don't understand. The road itself is part of the ride. At this stage, your bike is helping you build instincts. A smaller motorcycle forces you to think. You can't just twist the throttle and disappear. You have to carry speed properly. You have to choose your lines. You have to understand momentum. Every mistake becomes a lesson. A bad corner teaches you. A late break teaches you. A rough road teaches you. You start realizing that good riders aren't the ones who always go fast. They are the ones who always stay in control. Level 3. The Explorer. You are 18. You have spent enough time on pavement that you want something different. You want to experience what the motorcycle world really has to offer, so you try riding somewhere new. Maybe a dirt trail, maybe a mountain road, maybe a place where the surface isn't perfect. And immediately, you realize something. This is a completely different game. On the street, the motorcycle feels predictable. On loose ground, everything moves. The rear tire slides, the front end feels lighter, the bike moves underneath you. At first, it feels wrong. You think you're losing control, but slowly, you understand. You're not losing control. You're learning a different kind of control. You fall a few times. Everyone does. But dirt teaches you something valuable. A mistake doesn't always mean disaster. Sometimes it just means get back up and try again. After enough time, you become comfortable with movement. You stop fighting the bike. You start working with it. And when you return to the street, you ride differently. You are smoother. You are calmer. You understand traction in a way many riders never experience. Level 4. The Balanced Rider. You are 21. You have moved beyond beginner bikes. Now you own something with real power. A motorcycle that can handle highways. A motorcycle that can take you on long trips. This is where many riders discover a dangerous truth. Power is easy to get. Control is harder. A bigger engine doesn't automatically make you a better rider. It simply gives you more responsibility. You learn how weight changes everything. Braking takes more planning. Changing direction takes more commitment. Mistakes happen faster, so you become more careful. You start riding with intention. Your movements become smoother. Your braking becomes cleaner. Your acceleration becomes more controlled. People who don't understand motorcycles think fast riding looks aggressive, but experienced riders know the opposite. The best riders look relaxed. They don't fight the machine. They let the motorcycle do what it was designed to do. Level 5. The Performance Rider. You are 24. You have years of riding behind you. Now you want to experience what a serious motorcycle feels like. You buy a machine built for performance, more horsepower, better suspension, better brakes, more technology. The first time you ride it, you understand something. A powerful motorcycle doesn't just give you speed. It reveals your weaknesses. The bike can accelerate faster than your brain expects. It can reach speeds where small mistakes become big problems. So you learn discipline, you learn when to use the power, and when to leave it alone. You start taking longer trips, not just quick rides around town, real journeys, hundreds of miles, different states, different roads. You pack only what you need. Because motorcycles force you to simplify. And somewhere along those roads, you find the reason people become addicted to riding. Not the speed, not the noise, the feeling, the moment when everything else disappears. Just you, the bike, and the road. Level 6, the track rider. You are 27. At this point, normal roads are no longer enough to answer every question you have about riding. You have learned how to handle traffic. You have learned how to manage corners. You have learned how your motorcycle reacts. But there is still one place where you can truly understand what you and your machine are capable of. The track. The first track day is a completely different experience. There are no traffic lights, no distracted drivers, no unexpected cars turning across your path. Just a closed piece of asphalt designed for one purpose: riding. The first thing you notice is how different everything feels. You brake later, you lean more, you carry speeds that would feel impossible on the street. Your brain, Imun, tells you that the corner is too fast, but the motorcycle goes through. You start realizing the machine has more ability than you ever used. The biggest lesson from the track isn't going faster, it's precision. A fast rider is not just someone brave enough to twist the throttle. A fast rider knows exactly where to brake, exactly where to turn, exactly when to accelerate. Small improvements matter. A few feet earlier on the brakes, a slightly better line through a corner, a smoother exit. That is where speed comes from. You start doing track days regularly, not because you want to prove something, but because every session teaches you something new. And the more you learn on the track, the safer you become on the street. Because now you understand your limits. You understand the motorcycle's limits, and you respect both. Level 7. The veteran rider. You are 32. You have thousands of miles behind you. You have ridden through heat, cold mornings, heavy traffic, empty highways, long mountain roads. You have experienced almost every type of riding situation. At this level, your biggest advantage is no longer your bike. It is your awareness. You see things before they happen. A car drifting slightly in its lane. A driver looking down at their phone. A truck approaching a corner too fast. You notice small details that newer riders miss. Experience changes the way you ride. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You don't need to race every car. You don't need to show everyone how fast your bike is. You understand something many young riders don't. The goal is not to survive a dangerous ride. The goal is to avoid creating one. You become smoother, more patient, more calculated. And ironically, that makes you faster when it matters, because you are no longer fighting the road. You are reading it. Level 8. The mentor. You are 37. Now, something interesting happens. New riders start coming to you for advice. A friend buys their first motorcycle. A younger rider asks what bike they should get. Someone wants to know how to improve. And you realize that you have become the person you once needed. You tell them the things nobody wants to hear. You don't need the biggest bike first. You don't need the fastest machine. You need experience. You tell them that a motorcycle with too much power can hide mistakes until one day it doesn't. You tell them to learn slowly, to practice, to respect the machine. Because every great rider started as a beginner. Every expert was once someone who stalled their first bike. Every experienced rider once made mistakes. The difference is, they learned from them. You teach them that motorcycles are not about showing off. They are about connection. The connection between the rider, the machine, and the road. Level 9. The lifelong biker. You are 45. You have owned many motorcycles. Some were fast, some were comfortable. Some were completely unnecessary but impossible to forget. You have collected stories, trips with friends, random roads that turned into unforgettable adventures, early morning rides where the world felt completely empty, rainy rides that tested your patience, moments where everything was perfect. But after all these years, something surprises you. the feeling is still the same. The feeling you had when you first fixed that old bike. The feeling when the engine started. The feeling when you first opened the throttle and felt freedom. That never disappeared. Because motorcycles were never just about horsepower. They were never just about speed. They were never just about machines. They were about moments. A motorcycle gives you something rare. It forces you to be present. When you are riding, you cannot think about yesterday. You cannot worry about tomorrow. You only have this moment, this road, this corner, this machine. And somewhere right now there is a 14-year-old kid looking at an old motorcycle sitting in a garage. They don't know it yet. They don't know how many roads are waiting. They don't know how many lessons they are about to learn. They only know one thing. They want to ride. And that small decision might become the beginning of a lifetime. Because every biker starts with the same question. Not, how fast can this go? But what does it feel like? And the motorcycle always gives the answer.